So one thing that we found out last week is Darlington Nagbe got his citizenship. How, you've known him for a long time, how big is that for you to see?
It's big for a lot of reasons. I've known him a long time, like you said, and I think it's a big moment for not only his soccer career but his life, and his family. So I'm really happy on all levels for him. It gives him the chance to go in the national team, which opens up new doors, new opportunities, new challenges for him in his soccer career. But also getting his citizenship, I think, opens up doors for his family and the legacy he'll leave with them as well.
Do you expect to see him get a call up at some point?
Yeah, I'm hoping it's after the season though.
Turning attention to the New York game, you guys obviously had a really good performance against Kansas City, but we're missing some of your players. People stepped in, but now you have all your players back. How big is that for you guys to have the full team freaking like this?
Yeah, I think it's good. Where we had guys out was in the back half, and that was fine last game. But with Will and Shar, these guys bring both sides of the ball a little bit of punch. So in terms of Will and Chara, their ability to step into the attack at times, that won't hurt. Although, like I said, the guys that played last game, they were outstanding.
New York's a team that has done really well recently. What are the biggest challenges that they're going to present?
Well, it seems like every game we're playing a really good team. In fact, I don't think there's been one time all year where I've said, "Oh, this is going to be an easy game," or we're playing a weaker team. Not one game all year. It's funny at the time when you play a team. Sometimes you think, "Oh yeah, okay, they're in a not a good run of form, or they're in a really good run of form," and then a month later, 2 months later, now they're up the table, or now they're down the table. So I think every game is difficult in this league, and our process doesn't change. There's nothing different we're going to be doing in training. Obviously, we'll continue on the attacking side to put guys in situations in training to try to replicate the game. Get them around goal. We can't complicate it. We can't build more pressure on those guys. We just need to keep them loose. The quality's there. We're getting in positions. The goals will come.
A few weeks back, you told us you were hoping that the team could maybe try to win the final 5 home games. And is it frustrating when you play so well that hasn't happened?
It can be frustrating, but we don't let it be frustrating because when you play really well and you feel like you should win and you do everything right, it's probably one of the few sports where you don't win when you absolutely dominate a game. If you think about it, every other sport you're probably winning the game if you dominate. Because a lot would have to really go wrong in other sports. In soccer, it's I know I say it all the time, it's moments. And when I counted 13. I went through the whole game because you look at shots, that's deceiving sometimes. We had 18 shots, but I counted 13 clear goals. I mean clear, not just half chances, but clear goals. And if we hit 3 or 4 of them, we're running out of that game, with a rout. Didn't happen, so you look at it, you wonder why, and sometimes that's football. They made a couple really good saves. I think our precision at times could have been better, maybe the decision making, where to shoot, because there's a lot of little things you can do in those moments, whether that's go near, far post, lift it, lower it, some of those things. But you just got to move on to the next game and hope that the performance is the same, because the chances of us winning if we have similar performances is much greater. So what I hope is the same performance. I know I said it after Seattle, but I hope same performance. But we want to, obviously do a bit better in the finishing. That's it.
Have you seen a trend? I mean, just sort of in the anatomy of finishing. You were just talking about maybe going far post, maybe going near post. How about, or even maybe just taking the shot a step sooner, or foregoing that last touch to set it up?
I mean, like I said, it's about the player in that moment. I mean, these guys are paid to score goals. They know it's a part of their job, and it's not like Bruce Arena is going to pull Robbie Keane after missing a chance and saying, "Hey, Robbie, you should probably go near post here or far post here." It's the player in that moment. It's their decision. It's their intuition, their instinct. It's their composure. It's all those things. We can, like I said, put them in those positions in training. which we do every single week. We've done it every single week all year. It's not like we need to go and overdo it. It comes down to the player in that position, in that moment, doing his job, which is put the ball in the back of the net.
How much does psychology play into it for you as a coach? I mean, like you said, you don't want to overdo it. You don't want to get these guys thinking so much about it that they don't.
Yeah, I mean, I think, from a fan's perspective, they think, oh, just all of a sudden just, yell at them and tell them they should score that goal, from 6 yards out, and it's ridiculous, it's not what you do, Obviously, they know they need to score, and we don't need to do anything different. Just keep putting them in those positions and keep showing belief and confidence in them. And the worst thing you can do is now all of a sudden make them tense and overdo the video and overdo now, training. These guys know how to score goals. Otherwise, they wouldn't be here. They wouldn't be, getting paid as a professional player. So just got to keep putting them in those positions.
You guys have been a team that has always played really well at the end of the year. You haven't necessarily got the points in the last few weeks, but you're once again, kind of playing your best soccer at this point of the year. Why do you think that is?
I think we've been pretty consistent. Really, if you look at the last 3 years, I think we've lost the least amount of games in the whole league, and I think we've been pretty consistent all year, really. So I think we're a team that's always in every game. I don't think you can ever say in most games that we're out of it. Obviously, we've lost a few, and this year a few big, but we're a very consistent team because we have a consistent process. We're always organized. Our mentality is always there. Usually we find goals. Sometimes we'll lose a game, but we respond in the next game. But we're a very consistent team. You look at the 3 years, we're a very consistent team.
Great.
Yeah. Thanks guys. Yep.